The Nintendo Direct just happened, giving us a look at games releasing within the first half of this year, with Splatoon 3 being one of the games showcased that I was excited to see. So since I love Splatoon, I decided to break down the new Salmon Run footage, so let's get started. So for those unfamiliar, Salmon Run was a game mode first introduced in Splatoon 2, where a team of 4 players work together to fight enemies and mini-bosses to collect eggs, and the players have to put the eggs inside of a net to score points, and the objective is to keep scoring enough points before the timer runs out. If the players survive all 3 timed rounds and are able to score enough points, the players are victorious. However, if they fail to reach a certain amount of points in the time limit, or if all 4 players get defeated, then the match automatically ends and the team has failed. Starting the trailer off, the game now has a confirmed ESRB rating of E10+. Yeah, who didn't see that one coming? After the fade from black, we see a helicopter flying over the bay, and when I was watching the Nintendo Direct live, I knew this was Splatoon 3 right away, since the environment definitely gave me Salmon Run vibes. Inside of the helicopter, we get our first look at playable Octolings in the game, as well as Grisco's new upgraded equipment. The characters super jump out of the helicopter and land on the platform, in which where you land will likely be automatic in Salmon Run, and will not be like what we have seen from other Turf War footage of the game, with players being able to choose where they want to jump to at the start of a match. The new official Splatoon Twitter account confirms that the name of this new stage is Sockeye Station, which features a tall, spiraling tower and presents new tactical opportunities for both allies and antagonists. By the way, there is a new official Splatoon Twitter account, so make sure to go follow them. As the gameplay transitions, we get our first look at the in-game UI, and from the looks of things, it does look like the weapons have been given slight redesigns, but keep in mind that the game is still in development, so this may change in the final product. We see both new and returning mini-bosses, with the new ones being the Fish Stick, nice name Nogami, where small salmonids move in a circle spreading a small amount of ink. You climb up their fish stick and shoot them. Looks pretty simple and easy enough, but perhaps they have some abilities that we haven't seen yet, so I'd recommend keeping your guard up when the game releases. The Flipper Flopper, which shoots out a ring, and you must escape the radius before the Flipper Flopper flips you a new one. And it seems like you must ink the ground in order to expose its weakness. We get a look at a new egg throwing mechanic that everyone is hyped about, myself included. I was pleasantly surprised by this, and I think that this mechanic is going to introduce a whole new level of teamwork and coordination when playing Salmon Run with friends. And it definitely has me curious that if Clam Blitz is to return in this game, how this feature can improve that game mode. We see more of our old mini-bosses from Splatoon 2's Salmon Run, including steelheads, stingers, maws, drizzlers, and flyfishes. For those unfamiliar, steelheads have impenetrable armor and can only be destroyed by detonating the bombs that they will use to throw at you. Stingers basically stand in place and shoot a big laser, but are easy to defeat since you could just shoot the pots until they die. They're not so bad individually, but when there are a lot of them in the area, things can get pretty overwhelming, and I find these guys, if anything, to be the biggest annoyance in Salmon Run. Maws swim underground following a player and will try to eat them, but can be beaten by throwing a bomb inside of their radius before they come out of the ground. Drizzlers are invulnerable unless they are charging up their attack, which is an ink rainstorm. And last but not least, flyfishes are airborne combatants that use homing missiles against players and are only able to be defeated by throwing a bomb inside of both of their missile holders. We get another look at the Crab Tank, a new special weapon being introduced in Splatoon 3 that we have seen in previous gameplay videos, and there is an indicator on screen that tells you to press R and ZR to fire. in which ZR is likely the rapid fire option that we have seen used in all of the videos so far, and R will likely fire a splat bomb. And this new look at the crab tank gave me a thought. Basically every Splatoon special weapon has some kind of weakness, and we see a small opening in the back of the crab tank, so I think it will be invulnerable from the front, but if you can sneak behind it and shoot the exposed area, the player will be splatted. And last but not least, the trailer ends with a look at a new Salmonid called the King Salmonid that looks like Godzilla and Big Chunkus had a Splatoon themed baby. We don't see any of its attacks, and even the new official Splatoon Twitter account didn't elaborate much. So I think that as a result, this is going to be some kind of special mega boss that will be a rare occurrence in the game. And even if it's not a rare occurrence, considering that this is called the King Salmonid, this will most likely be the deadliest of all Salmonids. I'm definitely looking forward to facing off against this foe the most out of all of the new ones. While there's still no exact release date, it has now been confirmed that Splatoon 3 will be releasing in the summer of 2022, and I figured it would. Splatoon is the perfect game for a summer release, and Splatoon 1 and 2 both released in the summer, so I'm happy to see this. When exactly I think it will release, I would say throughout July or early August. I don't think it's coming out in June, but of course, I could be wrong about that. What we saw wasn't really all that much, but it was still a pleasure to see gameplay, and I 100% believe that there will be another Nintendo Direct happening in the summer before the game launches, where they will either entirely focus on Splatoon 3, or mostly showcase Splatoon 3, but also show a few other things as well. Let's say, for instance, they show 17 minutes of Splatoon 3 footage and 8 minutes of other games, leading to a 25-minute direct. That would be cool to see, but regardless, I'm ready to get back into the ink this summer.